Welcome to RPV City Talk. RPV City Talk is brought to you by the City of Rancho Palos Verdes to inform the community on recent city matters. RPV City Talk is a weekly show that features the RPV Mayor, City Council, or City employees.
Hello and thanks for joining us on City Talk. I am Maria Serrao and we are here today at Del Cerro Park. I have the pleasure of sitting down with our Mayor Pro Tem, Anthony Misetich. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you for having me here.
You know, it's nice to get to know you on a more personal level. Let's go back a little ways. You're homegrown. You're from the area. You're from San Pedro. Your father and grandfather both were in the fishing industry. Is that right?
That is correct.
Let's talk about that a little bit. What was that like growing up?
Well, it was a wonderful experience to have grandparents in a pioneer industry in the area that helped build, the port.
Right.
My grandfather Antone was a captain of a fishing fleet. He had 5 fishing boats during the course of his life, and he used to take me down to the fishing slip, on Saturdays and Sundays when he was in port.
Right.
And I used to get to explore the whole boats and the engine rooms and the docks and everything. I grew up around boats.
What an amazing place, especially as a young child, to be able to explore. It must have been amazing.
Oh, it was fascinating.
Yeah.
I got to see a lot of things that most kids don't get
Never
to see.
see.
And my other grandfather, Luka Bogdanovich, when my one grandfather was a fisherman, was out at sea, he used to take me to the cannery.
Okay.
So both my grandfathers were involved in the fishing industry,
Oh.
and I remember traveling over from San Pedro to Terminal Island on the Islander Ferry. This is before the Vincent Thomas Bridge.
Okay.
And then going over to the cannery and going into this big, huge room where there was 500 ladies in white smocks.
Wow.
Cutting up the fish and preparing it for canning.
Now, did your mom work as well, or did she stay at home and take care of you guys?
Mom stayed at home, but when she was younger, she worked in the cannery.
Oh, interesting.
yeah.
Did your parents meet there, or?
They met at, I think, of a fisherman fiesta.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Interesting. I think it's fascinating because we see the port now. It's so large, and that must have been an amazing place to see. What was it like back then?
It was a lot different than it is today.
I'm sure.
lot smaller, less container traffic. The fishing industry was a big part of the San Pedro economy. There was, I think, 8,000 people involved that were employed in the fishing industry.
Wow.
So, it was a big employer. It helped build, the lives for a lot of families.
Absolutely.
And it was just a great experience for me. I even got to go fishing on
Yes.
the fishing boats. I have 150 days of sea time on tuna fishing boats.
Yeah.
And that was a great experience. I went to sea when I was 15 years old, first time.
And you went to South America, is that right? You went
Yeah, I was out 42 days on the ocean.
What was that like?
Very interesting. I mean, to be out on the ocean where there's no land, just water totally around you.
Yes.
And
Does it feel strange, or
Oh,
is
it felt strange.
it seemed like it might feel a little strange.
It felt strange. I got to see a lot of different things. I got to see the volcanic islands off of Baja.
Wow.
We caught fish, of course. So I got to see that process firsthand and experience it. I even, on that particular trip, I even saw a fishing boat sink.
Wow.
And our fishing boat picked up that crew and rescued them. So that was quite a sad experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what an amazing experience just to be, like you said, how many people get to go out on a boat for that long, over a month, and be out at sea?
Yeah, it was, and I took some lumps too.
Yeah.
The crew bossed me around all over the place, and you do that.
Because you're the young one coming in, right?
Oh, yeah. I think I was watching The Deadliest Catch last night, and, I guess they call those the greenhorns.
Yeah, exactly.
I was a greenhorn.
Let's go back a little bit before you even went out on your fishing expeditions. You went to Miralles School. You went to all the local schools here.
I went to South Shores Elementary School,
Okay.
San Pedro, and then my family moved to Rancho Palos Verdes in 1972.
Okay.
Before it was a city,
Right.
Still LA County. And I attended Dapple Gray and graduated from Dapple Gray and then attended Miralles High School.
Okay. In high school is when you started playing football. You and I both share a love of the game. And I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit because I think the things that you learn from football are different probably than any other sport. It's a hard sport. The rewards are amazing. It teaches you to overcome obstacles and great adversity and things like that. But you also were under Coach Kimbrell, who I remember when he was at Peninsula High School. He was a very tough coach.
Gary Kimbrell is a legend.
He is.
I have the utmost respect for Gary Kimbrell.
I do as well.
He came into the program when I was a senior at Maryland High, and we had been 3-1, something like that the year before. Maybe it was 4-1. But he took our team, instilled discipline in us, instilled a belief that we could achieve, the goals of winning the league and going into the CIF playoffs. And he was inspirational. He also had a sense of humor. And he was probably, if you talk to anybody who's played for Gary Kimbrell, they have just the utmost respect for the man.
Yes.
And he took our team that year. We won the Pioneer League Championship. And then we went to the CIF, I believe it was semifinal playoffs.
What an amazing experience.